India has recorded over 300,000 COVID-19 deaths. It becomes just the third country to pass the grim mark after the United States and Brazil. Well, the country will soon be using drones to ensure COVID-19 restriction compliance and to deliver vaccines to isolated communities. Let's get this update now on the situation in the country. We speak to our India correspondent, Rebecca Bundan, who joins us all the way from Mumbai. Good to have you and good morning from this side, Rebecca. Let's talk more about this drone test, which I understand the country, obviously, of India is embarking on, particularly to address some of those, issues in rural and remote areas.
Yes, absolutely. This is an interesting idea. Drones have been used in the medical field before, of course, in other parts of the world. And this could be a great solution for India, potentially, which is struggling with its vaccination drive already. It's been much slower than expected. And reaching rural areas in particular is, of course, one of the major challenges that India faces, being such a vast country geographically. Most of the population in the country do still live in rural India. And at the moment, these are trials that are just about to start. Over the next couple of weeks, they're hoping that they'll actually conduct these trials in the south of India, in the states of Telangana. Karnataka in South India is also looking into this technology as well. And these drones could then be used to take doses of the vaccines to remote villages. It could also be used, they could also be used to distribute medicine. So it's still in the early stages, but it's hoped within the next couple of weeks this would be trialed, and then this could be rolled out more widely. And certainly this could be a really good solution for India, as it's struggling with distribution of medicine, distribution of vaccines. But of course, there are these other ongoing challenges as well that won't necessarily be solved like this, like the vaccine shortages, the shortages of medicine. So there is still a lot of challenges, but this is a positive development that, if implemented effectively, could really help India.
Yeah, and just briefly then, Rebecca, talking about some of the challenges with which India is still facing over and above COVID-19. We're reading reports here of some sort of a black fungus disease also linked to COVID, which is spreading across India. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, this is really awful because, of course, India is grappling with this massive second wave of COVID-19 infections, which is still a huge ongoing struggle. More than 222,000 cases recorded in the past 24 hours, according to official figures in terms of new COVID-19 infections. And authorities, medical experts believe that they could be much higher than those official figures even. And at the same time, now there are these rising cases of this black fungus infection, which is normally a very, very rare infection that's seen among patients, but it's increasingly being seen among COVID-19 patients, those who are in the process of recovering or have actually recovered. And there have been some 9,000 cases of this black fungal infection reported in the country. It has been incredibly rare in the past, but what doctors are saying is that it's perhaps linked to the heavy use of steroids in COVID-19 patients, which is affecting their immune system. Now, this black fungal infection ends up affecting patients' noses, their eyes. It can lead to them being maimed. Potentially, patients' eyes have to be removed to actually stop the fungal infection from spreading to the brain, because once it reaches that stage, it can be fatal. And this disease does, unfortunately, have a very high fatality rate as well. So as India continues to battle the COVID-19 pandemic and those high number of cases with COVID-19, it's also now having to figure out and put solutions in place to try to manage this rise of the black fungus infection that's spreading more widely among patients, it seems. Yeah. A lot of those patients do seem to be diabetic. It seems that patients with underlying conditions seem to be those most likely to be affected. But this is a huge concern for India at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. A lot on the plate of the Indian government there. But thank you so much, Indian correspondent Rebecca Bundan, for giving us this update.